I'm many people to many.
Easy done. I will jump out the call and whatnot anyway, and you have yourself a good night or day.
Okay, mate.
Night.
Well, night for you, yes, Terry.
Good night.
Yes,
Yep.
day here. Obviously, it's only 10:30 in the
Yeah,
morning.
yeah. Easy done.
You have a good one.
Easy done. Catches.
Later.
He's gone. So what are we doing? We're in.
It's just
what is it
refresh
again?
YouTube. Oh, there we are.
Discord. That's what we call it. Where's my Discord button?
Generally, yes.
There's my Discord button. I found it the other day. You can make it white because I didn't like it black.
You don't like the dark setting on Discord, then?
Nah, well, at least not at the moment. I liked it white. I'll probably change my mind. I'll change it back again.
I must admit, I have the dark mode on most things, but not all, because some things, just like your YouTube page, when it goes all dark, it just don't look right. But I'm getting used to it on most stuff.
You do. I have all my white stuff up good. Sorry, all my most of the time everything's white, but I do have a black background in CAD and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Oh, I struggled to have anything other than the black background for CAD. People still, that's so old-fashioned. You can have it white. Yeah, I don't care. I've had it painted black for 25 years. I'm sticking to it. Thank you.
We've already got a couple of guys. Zeblon and Armageddon's joined us.
Yep, they were hanging around waiting to see if somebody was going to stream. I would think.
I would think. So we've got Terry with us today, guys, again, which is good.
Yep.
I found a good video. I had a few videos. I can find the one I was going to look for. Where are you?
I'll tell you what, Simon Dance from yesterday was a bit disappointing.
He's more and more disappointing every time I watch him, I've got to admit.
Well, they're all running out of stuff, you know.
Yeah. It's getting very much like that.
What, the Earth's not flat?
Yeah.
Breaking news. No, it's not.
It's like Toon's been reposting his stuff or other people's stuff, and
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I had something different. Different to start with. Just got to find it now. Look at my history. History's always a good place to find things. Come on. Show me my history. Why not show me my history? Do it down here instead. Silly YouTube.
You've not got a jumper on. Bloody weather.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I might have to go and put mine on soon because it's a bit it's a bit overcast and wet out there, and my heating's off.
It's supposed to be summery.
Yeah, well, middle of February here, so it's we're getting the weather we should be getting, I guess.
In South Australia and everywhere's got heat wave.
Hmm.
That wasn't my last thing I watched. It's telling me fibs. Oh.
What is a jumper and where is it jumping to? A jumper. Plover.
Those that do not know what a jumper is.
Jumper?
I don't know. Oh, I know why it doesn't know that. It's because I've got to do this.
What do you get when you cross a sheep with a... What is it? A sheep with a kangaroo?
A woolly jumper.
Yeah, woolly jumper.
That's older than I am.
You get arrested. You get arrested, don't you?
I can guarantee that's older than me.
I thought you'd get arrested for
What, telling that sort of joke?
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure there's laws against that sort of thing.
Yeah, should be. Oh, here she comes. Hello.
Meow, meow.
Yeah.
He's talking to himself. It's time to go in and make a racket at him again. Yeah, I know. Why can't you meow like normal cats? Why just
Meow.
screech? And she really has now developed the habit of whatever stupid o'clock in the morning is, when she comes back in from outside, she just stands in the kitchen and just makes an unearthly racket, as if to say, "Aha, I'm here." It's like, yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd like to carry on sleeping, please. And she comes upstairs and does it again. And then she jumps on the bed and does it again. It's like, what do you want? Other than a kick up the backside.
Another one. Stop it, cat. Here we go.
Oh, she got the message.
Let's start with something different. Oh, you guys might be able to see. I need to make it so you can see.
No, because you're not sharing it in here.
No, you should be able to hear. Okay, let's change.
Yeah, you're very quiet. You're very quiet over on YouTube again.
Am I? Okay, let's turn me up.
Yeah.
Let me turn me up. Turn me up. It's a bit hard because I don't want to blow you guys out here. And you are listening to the same feed. So, I don't know. I'll have to look. Maybe YouTube setting something there. Now, I need to change that to my camera. Where's my camera? You need to... Oh, no, you should see that. If I turn on camera, you should be fine. Camera. So, turn on OBS camera. Turn on... Hit that. Okay. Now you should see what I see. You see YouTube?
Yes.
Well, I'm over on YouTube.
No, yeah, there we go. So you should be able to do that. Okay.
Jeez, who's having an accident?
I thought
There's
we'd start with
somebody in the
something-
third drawer.
Got a minute?
I thought we'd start with something different. A bit of fun. I was watching this one. You guys may have seen some of this.
To have some rest in the middle of a hard day's work?
What is it? It's bad, eh?
That's right. Let others work while we will relax for a while. By watching a compilation of the best work fails, of course. Let's get it on.
Okay, let's go big. Now, I've seen explanations of work apprentices done like this, actually.
Satisfying video for safety engineers.
Farmers will get that.
Just move your bloody head.
It's all he has to do. And he'll get more.
Were you also expecting them to switch places? Hit the like button if your boss would deduct a day of work like that from your vacation.
That's the job he's doing.
He's getting a good job done there.
Yeah, I mean, that shows thinking.
Yeah, I like this one.
The reason I never ask anyone for help.
No!
Yeah. Okay. We
While Neymar is playing poker, the backhoe driver is busy doing this.
It's just things that happen when there's not enough work on.
Yes, you've got to keep him busy.
Keep them busy. God. That's what you buy there, you know, hundreds of
The
thousands.
cameraman
of dollars worth
sure
of
is
stuff.
smart.
Yeah, I'd hit
Oh, ad
for you to be
blocker.
cold. Here's a bottle of warm air.
But he probably doesn't have many friends.
I was trying to work out what
Eight-year-old
this
you
guy was
imagining
doing
you're
for a while.
about to fight off a mob of robbers with bazookas and machine guns.
Segurança de carro forte.
He's the security guard.
Deixa mais real. Puta que pariu.
I think it's time for this pal to get out of the construction business
I do like that.
and start his own design practice.
You can see this guy's measured this really well.
Spatial thinking is not his strong suit.
Have another go.
This one I like. You first see it and then you got to work out what's going on and then you realise what he's done. He's left it.
They've let it sit in the back of the truck, haven't they?
The foundation's pretty much ready. One can build the
Now he's
house
got to
now.
chip it all out.
Probably the same guy.
Yeah. Did you want it there? Because that's where you got it.
Oh, if you did that on... It's funny, but if you did that on a work site and got caught, you would be in so big a trouble.
Yeah, but
Admit
temptation
it.
was just
Sometimes
too
you
much.
want to do the same thing when your friend is checking his phone all the time.
Whack.
Yeah, but these guys are security guards, and that's a boring job, sitting there watching.
Oh, gotcha.
Nothing happens for a huge amount of time.
And they
These
can't
hard
sit there and read
workers
their
remind
Kindle.
you how important it is to find simple
Yeah, they can't sit there because of it's not allowed, and no seats provided, whatever. Oops, the sound. You can imagine this is in the office.
Legend has it that this is how the bidet
I'd be
was
lucky this
invented.
has never happened to me, but I've heard of it happening.
If we were that engineering genius, we'd take a closer look at potential employees.
And the funny thing about that one was, I was thinking about it. I was like, why are you taking so long to get out? And then I realised he got his pants around his ankles. Some guys come and done that too.
This unloading technique is called I'm on an hourly rate.
Now, I think he's meant to be putting it in the bucket, like in
20
the.
bucks? No, too much money. He's no good operator.
He missed.
And he's missed completely.
Yeah, completely.
It's official. The most popular TikTok dance challenge can be closed at this point.
Imagine your workmates getting a hold of this video.
I wonder what Wednesday herself would have to say about this.
There's a good one in here. You're like
The
this one.
Equalizer, Part 1.
Yep,
Oh, dude.
water's level.
Is that water finding its own level?
No, apparently not.
Well, he's checking
let's
with,
go
he's
the other
checking
way,
it with
isn't
the
it?
spirit level,
Go
so
on, go on, go on.
No, well, he didn't find his own level. He had to, adjust it. Yeah, he can see what's going to happen. Yep.
I was gonna do that.
That
Picking up
co-worker
fresh
the
lorry.
boss left in charge.
Quick, it's gun shake. Send us a gun. That's a grenade.
Renovation of your apartment should be complete in 2 days. Workers during half of their shift. A quick lunch break.
Oh, I do like that. That's very cool.
That would be good.
And let's move on.
Playing cards.
Imagine being this lazy.
Trying to work out what he's throwing up. I wonder if a tubermastic or something. What is it?
The loader lifts a
Oh,
ton of
maybe.
sand, and I want to find someone who would believe in me as much as this guy believes in his car.
That car's not going to hold.
No way.
Oh, he's not putting that in the roof.
Should we stop
He
it?
is. Yeah, that's the plan.
I feel like someone should say something. I don't know.
Oh, he's so close. Oh no, is he having second thoughts? Oh my days. I think he's
He's
like.
going to turn it into a convertible.
Oh,
Oh, hear it. You can hear it.
Oh my. I think the wheels have gone. What's he going to do now?
God. Sounded like a dozen eggs breaking.
What I think's funny is the forklift.
Dude, that's like
The
this whole
forklift's
lot.
just driven off. It's like, okay.
There you go, mate. There you go. That's what you wanted.
Okay.
That must have been not the fastest worker, but an excellent interior designer. Men don't burn out at work, they just do this.
You done acting up?
One man hired a crew to do repairs in his apartment and got some kind of hangover movie style setting. So, what do we have here? A used barbecue stove and a very unusual door. A toilet on the ceiling.
Oh no.
Can you try to reconstruct the chain of events? We've all left work an hour early and then explained it to the boss like this. Share in the comments if there's a dude at your work without whom everything would go to hell. Hit the like button if that dude is you. When your boss asked you to come into his office for a talk as soon as you're done with the job.
What is he done?
I couldn't quite see what it was.
I think. He's having a drink. They're pumping out of here into there. That's the problem. Pumping into the same pond.
When you're all ready at work and suddenly remember you left your phone at home unlocked. Me. If only I could find the source of all my problems. Also, me.
Uh-oh.
Hey, look, buddy. I'm an engineer.
We are witnessing the installation of a part of the bridge support structure.
It's sinking. It's not good.
And now that everything went well, we can take a break right here.
What is it, Spud, eh?
Any construction worker knows, if an inspection is coming, you need to treat the inspector with utmost care.
Looks like that wasn't too bad.
Johnny, it's burning! That ain't coming up there!
Uh-oh.
What happens at a construction site when real men take over?
Oh, don't do that. I do that.
The brother of your friend's co-worker who promised to do the job for half the price.
Dude.
Straight for it, Ring. That's how you it, mate. That is how you can do it.
That's it, how bloody lot's going.
That's what the bucket's for.
As you get older, you lose interest in many of the treats you enjoyed as a child, and you will be today years old when you stop enjoying ice cream.
What's in this one?
The manager you want to call even if the food and service are perfect. Too bad it doesn't work with a herniated disc.
Efficiency at work.
Oh yeah.
It's all too true.
Watch an interesting movie in a few minutes without rewind? Easy.
We got a great looking audience tonight.
That's it.
Oh dear, some right plonkers on there.
It is. That's what they're doing. So who we got? Oh man, look, we've got Zebulon. Still Zebulon. John Stocks joined us. G'day, John.
We've got an Alan as well.
Got an Alan. You in there, Alan, somewhere?
Hello, hello.
No, I haven't found the link. I guess I better open a
what link?
Open
what
a
link?
YouTube page and.
Just YouTube and
yeah,
Discord.
we're doing it straight. Doing it straight from Discord.
Yeah, no, I mean like when Timbo goes live, it doesn't show up on Terry's thing, does it?
Doesn't it?
No.
No.
G'day, Judy. How are you?
I'll have to speak to that Terry bloke and get Timbo's shield in. Show you shit.
Yeah.
Usually
you
is.
need to have a word with him, mate.
It was working. I was getting 2.
It was.
Yeah, I was getting twice. But maybe it's only happening after it ends the stream. I don't know.
You didn't put a time in it for when you were going to start the stream, did you?
Not tonight, no, because I usually been waiting to see if you're how you're feeling for bother starting stream.
Yeah, it's not going to give notifications if you don't tell it what time.
Yeah. That could be why. You're a bit soft there, Blue. I thought some of you... Yeah.
Really?
I was saying you're a bit soft on my end. Only in volume, not in personality. I do have a playlist. I was looking for some... Do you know Lindsay's got another... He put in 3 videos this week.
Well, yeah, I could do with another cup of tea.
You could do with a cup of tea.
Hey,
yeah, I've got a room to paint.
I've just discovered I've got 5G in my local area now. I might have to swap over. If you're going to do Lindsay, I might have to swap over to it because the data rate on it is worse than 3G. And I had a lovely 4G connection here, didn't I?
Oh, you did, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I got myself another phone. I don't know whether I've actually got this. I don't know whether I've got 5G here. I don't think we have out in the village.
Well, no, I'm really surprised it's suddenly showing 5G on the
Suddenly showing
I might
5D.
I might have to switch over to it if we're going to have Lindsay.
There's something strange
Yeah.
about this Chinese spy balloon that just got shot down.
Sorry, I got a few things. I'm just queuing them up. So could do. I'm just checking. This is making sure this is not the same Lindsay we had last week. Can't handle him twice. Yeah, they're only short though. It was only like 7 minutes. This one, the first one I was picked up. Where are you, Lindsay? Tomb of Enlightenment. Videos.
Don't forget to switch it to Lindsay speed.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going to have it on. There we go. 2 days ago. That's got to be the one. Yeah, that's the one I had. North Mythology. So he's back on the North Mythology. Lindsay Speed. Sorry, I'll do it so you can see what I'm doing. Back over. Transition. There we go. So let's change that to Lindsay Speed. I could put the quality down. Okay.
My God, what's that? A potato camera?
Don't know. It's back on the Ragnar. Let's see if he says there's only 7 minutes. Let's see how we go. Lindsay. Welcome to Lindsay.
Hi there, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Everything's about the flat earth here, according to the ancients. Okay? So you can decide who's right and who's wrong. Spinning ball comedy theory of today, or everything I've described in my videos about what the ancients knew. Now, I've just watched a very good video, straightforward. It's like they've been watching my videos, and they're now starting to explain things very simply, according to what I've been saying. You know, they might not have, but it just seems so convenient that these things are coming out now and being well explained. So this video is it's called The Origin of Electromagnetic Waves and Why They Behave. Oh, I just took a photo. I'll go back and find the video.
Oh dear.
1 second.
Oh, he's good.
It describes our universe beautifully.
Two components of one same object, the electromagnetic field, and they will therefore interact with each other. In particular, the magnetic field which has just appeared will disturb the electric field. This disturbance of the electric field will in turn disturb the magnetic.
The origin of electromagnetic waves and why they behave as they do. Quantum world. Go watch the video and then I'll explain now how it works. Now, it talks about the whole design of our realm. The ecliptic plane, right? It's basically all based on this, the ecliptic plane. Right in the middle is our sun sitting here. If you want to understand all that, check out my earlier videos. But this is what they're calling, I'll read this out, a positive charge. An electric charge, static and motionless. That's basically what they've come up with the spinning ball theory, that the sun does not move. With an electric charge around it, emanating.
But the sun does move.
An electric charge. Imagine if the electric charge started moving.
And it's not in the middle.
Like the sun does. The sun moves around this black hole. And the moving electric charge creates the electromagnetic field. Like the sun does. It would create a magnetic field if it moved. In turn, it would disturb the electric field, the magnetic field, would disturb the electric field, both then feeding off each other. So a changing magnetic field creates an electric charge, and a changing electric field creates a magnetic field.
No.
Okay.
What's moving how's that gonna generate electric charge? Just the fact it's moving. It's gotta have something other than that. Anyway. Go on, Paul, I'm sure you can pull the errors in that one to pieces.
A changing magnetic field will create an electric field, but not a charge.
Yes. Oh, let's see where we go.
So, back to the correct. It creates the electromagnetic field perpendicular to the moving charge. So you've got to imagine, we've got the black hole here and the sun goes around it, moves around it. And that's setting off a magnetic field. Perpendicular to it, right like this. You seen that look before? Yeah, seen that. Because it's the centre of the toroidal field. We all dwell in the toroidal field. That's it there. It's all beautifully described in that video. If you start understanding that the sun does move, and it moves around like this, and it starts
So what's
explaining
it shooting off?
different
How's it shoot
waves,
off magnetic
energy waves,
fields? Like
energy fields, energy bands, all emanating out from the centre. This is what the electron waves are. It's the different states of energy expressed out from the centre. But this is creation, if you could look down on it as a flat plane. But we as man perceive it like this, in an arc. Man's arc of horizon. It's all layered like this.
except that your sun's
drawn
on
over here
the
too.
side of your arc.
So looking out from the centre, so just imagine, cut that through there, we're looking up through the spectrum like this. This is the whole spectrum in here. The video, just you have to watch the video first. But this is why we have, here's your arc of horizon, the goat. It's represented by Saturn. Saturn is the furthest out here. Or back in here is Mercury and Venus and that. Saturn's represented by the goat, Capricorn and that. Right out the far, because that's when the sun's down and out. The goat, what does the goat do? Look, it walks over. You know what goats do? They climb the mountains and climb over anything. Look, that's in the goat climbing over. It's sort of a depiction of why the goat is associated with Saturn and all that. All the animals on Earth represent something to do with the flat Earth design.
Really?
Okay?
What's a platypus do?
I couldn't believe it. They explained it so well there. I was going to say more about this, but it's basically it. Watch that video. Just show it one more time. A bigger form, maybe. Where are we? Go back. Library.
Disturb the magnetic field. Step by step, the electric and magnetic fields will influence each other and vary in turn through this mutual disturbance process.
The origin of the electromagnetic wave and why it acts like it does. Okay? It's all told there. It's so simple. So simple. And you understand. That's creation. As a plane sitting here. That's the plane sitting up here. But we see it vertically. As creation is perpendicular to our perceived realm. Just like the magnetic field is perpendicular to the electrical field. It's all related. Okay? And check out my previous video if you're interested in Norse mythology. Yeah. Cool guys, that's it. Cheers. Thumbs up if you like it.
I'm trying to work out, and I'm not going to thumbs up. This is the title. Norse mythology describes the Earth. That's nothing he didn't talk about at all. Oh. Obviously just kept in the same title from last week.
Must have done.
Sorry, Alan?
When do his titles ever have anything to do with what he's actually talking about?
This is true.
This is true.
And you really need to do something about potato camera because
can't see it.
It's unwatchable.
Potato camera?
Yeah, the feed, the camera feed you're sending us is potato.
Is it? Not quite.
Completely.
So that's coming from what's he say? How's it going out on YouTube? Okay, or is it just what you guys are getting in Discord?
It's fine in YouTube. It's just what we got in Discord. The YouTube was fine.
Okay.
Oh, that's improved it a little bit.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Not a lot, but a little bit.
White out.
White out. Yeah, but okay, well, let me just pull this other one up and I'll see how that one goes. See if we worked it out. Okay. What are we seeing in Discord at the moment? So you should see that. If I go, so I just clicked it, made a big screen of mine, but I'll see what you guys get.
Maybe if you share the application and not your screen in Discord, it might be better.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Because I was just being lazy and sharing my feed that I'm sending out in Discord because it was easier. That way I knew what I shared was what was going out. But obviously they're getting something better out there than we are in here.
Yeah, it's unreadable in here.
Yeah. Okay, well, what if we do this? If I change my share, and I'll actually share this. I'll leave the camera on, but I'll share that. Let's see how that goes. So you guys can actually see the screen. Is that any better?
No different.
You'll have to look at the share.
Yeah, that's better in here with the share.
Yeah.
On my end, it is.
Okay. Well, we'll do that. So here we go. I'll make this big. I just tried to find some little derpy videos so you can comment, see what you reckon. Find an explanation. So...
Hi there. We have a new observation to share with you from the same body of water we've been using recently.
Very scientific, this, by the way.
Just like previous observations, we're viewing these objects within 1,000 feet of the observer. This time, the center of the camera lens will be slightly higher than the 1.5 inches in previous observations. With ripples on the water this day, we'll be viewing from approximately 2 inches above the waterline.
Why? Why do you have to pick
As
the
a
worst possible
reminder,
place to
there
look at
can
it
be
from?
no obstruction due to curvature
Exactly.
from this viewing height at a distance of 1,000 feet on a sphere of our given radius. There would only be around 0.3 of an inch of curvature drop at 1,000 feet, and the geometric
refraction
horizon would be
has been
over
taken in.
2,200 feet away from the observer. In the previous video, we took the RC yacht out to approximately 700 feet from the observer on a calm day with no ripples and very little movement of the water. By the time the boat reached 700 feet or so, only the very top was visible. We had to raise the viewing height of the camera to receive the light from the boat in full. This new observation took place just before 2 p.m. on February 17th.
Oh, well, that proves it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She didn't feed that into the calculator, but okay.
Yeah.
The near shore water temperature was reading approximately 48 degrees Fahrenheit. The air right near the surface was reading about 45 degrees
Yeah,
Fahrenheit.
what about the water temperature
And
out
the
in the
air
middle of
from
the
a few
lake?
feet above the surface was showing about 44 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh,
Here is a reminder of the scale of the RC yacht in inches.
Extremely scientific.
We'll keep the zoom set while the boat moves away from the camera for the next few observations, rather than zooming in and out as we often do. This will be helpful for comparing the apparent size of the boats at the same distance on days of varying conditions. Here is the boat approaching 300 feet or so from the observer. While there are some ripples on the
Why
water,
is it moving
we
around
have a
so much?
direct line of sight to the boat and can see the hull with no problem. Now we sail the boat towards 700 feet.
Still
Bet
see
they're
the boat.
filming this with a P900 or a P1000, aren't they?
Don't know.
Probably.
They're trying to find somewhere where they can't see the boat.
Well, if it sinks, they won't be able to see it.
get. Still see the boat.
Here is the boat approaching 700 feet or so from the observer.
Hey, Travis would love this video with all the miraging.
Oh gosh,
We have to raise the camera height to receive the light from the hull of the boat.
No, you could see it fine. You can see it better when you rise it, but the last video you did when it was clear, you couldn't see it
part of
at
the
all.
holes in the water.
Yeah. No, just the previous one, it was almost completely disappeared. So why is this one you can see most of it?
And lowering.
I'm getting seasick with all the camera movements.
Raising up again.
I can see miraging there.
Yeah. The quality of the image,
And lowering.
Distance of the sensor's just not going to get anything decent. So.
There were some focusing issues at times with the camera because of the sunlit sparkles on the water.
Wouldn't that be exposure, not focus?
Wouldn't help.
Bit of both.
Mm.
I can give me an experiment to try.
The camera isn't going to have a.
As we sail the boat back towards.
Won't have a clue what to try and focus on.
Yeah, exactly. Only that's if they're using automatic focus too, which is what I hate people trying to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
The viewer.
Rondell's got the exact right answer there already in the chat.
Maximum refraction at that height, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you should never film close to water. It's the worst possible place to bloody do it. And that's why people like Travis go out and do that.
Yeah. So
Might as well smear butter on his camera lens for all the good it does.
My thing would be to do the same thing. Doesn't? My suggestion would be to do the same thing, but stick a 1 meter tall thing on it and then use that, and then put your camera height up at 1 meter. You'll be getting a little bit more legitimate results.
The hull begins to.
You'd still have some refraction, but you don't have all the stuff right on the surface of the water to worry about.
Come back into view.
Can see it quite well, except for moving the camera up and down.
So, just as in the previous video, when there were no ripples on the water and the boat disappeared bottom up as it moved away from the viewer.
So see this shot? You can't see it at all, and that's at the same distance. So how is that conclusive? You got one shot where you can't see it, and one shot where it's, when the ripples are, it's reasonably good. So yes, you have to think about that, don't you? Hardly conclusive. So I don't know if you could see that one. See if I can grab it. You can see the boat was on the right. I don't know if you can see my cursor. The boat was there.
I see your cursor, yeah.
Yeah, so the boat was down here and here in the same image for a second, for one frame. See? Then it goes a bit weird.
The boat again disappears bottom up as it moves away. Only this time, rather than doing so, there's more to come soon.
Yeah, I don't think so. Or the same. There you go, that was that one. How are we going? Oh, Carl. G'day, Carl. Hey, Spooky. So, g'day, Matt. You're back. I'm going to say hello. What else did I get? Oh, I got one for Alan. One on Radar. I thought Radar would love Alan love to do one on radar, wouldn't you, Alan?
No, can I time out Paul? He hasn't got a spanner.
Is it the machine that goes to ping?
Probably.
Oh, they got the machine that goes ping. It's my favourite.
My favourite.
You've probably seen this one. How's it? Where's Paul? Oh, he doesn't have a spanner. Let's fix that up.
Oh, you got to love a conformal fuel pack, haven't you? Look at that. Oh.
You're good in it.
Sorry. As they used to call them on the F-15s, the fast packs. Fuel and sensor, tactical.
Okay.
You
ready?
Don't say the R word, Alan will pipe up.
Ah.
Here you go.
Ah.
Folks, this is a follow-on from my last video where I featured Mike, a retired F-16 pilot, and he was contemplating some of the anomalies that he now realises when he thinks back to his pilot days with the radar systems, and in particular how they would work on a globe. So I want to follow on from that video and just expand on it a bit more. Now this isn't anything to do with over-the-horizon radar. Nothing that I'm going to be talking about is blocked by any curvature. This is all line-of-sight stuff, even on a globe. But the elevations that the aircraft are flying at is intriguing, and how the radar systems actually determine what elevation that these aircraft are flying at. So first of all, I'm just going to let this guy from a radar integration systems design company, I just want to let him talk about the basics of radar.
Those planes are flying
so
backwards.
we get a bit of a grounding on how exactly it works.
And they're not Harriers.
Hello, this is Roger Hosking, and today
Hi,
we're going
Roger.
to present a radar tutorial which gives some of the basics of how radars work. What is radar? Radar is an acronym for radio detection and ranging. As you may know, electromagnetic waves reflect off objects like light rays reflect off a reflective surface. Radars send out pulse signal and look for a reflected return signal pulse. And you probably also know that radar signals, because they're electromagnetic signals, travel at the speed of light, or 300 kilometers per second.
Do we know that?
The time it takes for a
I know that.
reflected signal to return back to the antenna is twice the distance divided by the speed of light. But useful radars also...
How's that, Blue?
That's not.
That's the wrong
That's only
speed of
true
light.
for the United States. That first pulsed radars were just demonstrated in 1934, because the first pulsed radars were actually developed before World War One by the Germans.
Ah, the Germans.
Yeah,
Germans.
the Germans.
Just don't mention the war.
Don't mention the war.
I did, but I think I got away with it.
Do you know what I discovered the other day? I can actually change people's individual volumes in Discord. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that before.
You didn't know that.
So there you go.
you
Anyway,
never
I just turned you guys up. Okay, I'll keep going. Ooh, where's my video gone? Still there somewhere. Okay, so that's for the purposes. I think we're okay. Let's keep
also need to detect the target location, not just the distance. And advanced radars can detect multiple targets, the speed, the heading, the size, as well as the identity of the target craft and perhaps even the country it's from. The next...
Does the radar do that, or does it do that from the information?
That does that from processing the information, and because literally all the radar can tell you is how far away the target is and the bearing to the target. And of course it can do that if you use a nice narrow beam, it can do that vertically and horizontally.
Right, but then it's got to process it to get to the gun.
And then it'll process, because you can look at the signal strength, you can look at the pulse shape, you can tell quite a lot of stuff from looking at the data about what the target is. In fact, I've spoken to operators, and they actually preferred sometimes looking at the raw analog displays rather than their digitized ones, because they could tell more from it, because they could get the subtle clues, because obviously they're looking at it all the time. They know the targets they're looking at because they get identified. So they kind of get a bit of a feel for what they're looking at when looking at the raw data, rather than just processed stuff. But of course, the computers can do that quite well now too.
Yeah. You're
Where does this video come from?
This one? Rob Durham. Here's the guy who talked to, what was his name we said? Mike, the pilot?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, anybody pay attention to what he said the speed of light is?
Oh, sorry, this video we're looking at here, this is
Yeah.
playing, this is somewhere else. Yeah, I'll come back to that. Yes, he said the speed of light is 300 kilometers per second.
I think he's got that.
That's a
wrong.
tad slow.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So yes, yes.
Maybe you
They're missing
cool things down to close to 0 Kelvin and try to push it through peanut butter. You might get it that slow.
Just checking. Isn't it about 300,000? 300,000 meters per second. So I see where it's getting the 300 kilometers per second from. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. So if you divide that, 300 million meters per second, and he's just, I think he's missing a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's 3 times 10 to the 8, and there's not enough zeros.
Yeah, it needs to add another 3 zeros there.
He might have got the calculation from a certain Nathan.
Don't know. I don't think this guy's we'll see. I think this guy's just supposed to be. Yeah, go on.
I mean, it says Pentec. I mean, I'm assuming that's some sort of
military guys
company that produce radars.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you let some glaring bonehead mistake like that get through?
Anyway, let's keep going on.
With a single radar pulse, and it uses a multi-element receive antenna. 3 signals are delivered from the antenna down to the radar processing system. The first is the sigma, or sum signal, that is the summation of all of the 4 different patches. The second is the delta A, which is the delta azimuth, which subtracts A1 minus A2 in signal. And the delta E is the delta elevation, which is E1 minus E2. Those 3 signals go down to a signal processing engine that calculates the phase shift between the main sigma or sum signal and the delta A signal. That allows you to determine a very accurate azimuth angle of the target. And the phase shift between the sum and the delta E signal determines a very accurate elevation angle.
Okay, I'm going to try and draw what's going on here in AutoCAD with these antennas. So we've got a jet aircraft here. We've got the antenna represented by this white line here in the nose. E1 and E2 are the 2 elevation receivers, and the white line coming out here represents the center line of the antenna, and that is perpendicular to the antenna itself. So that's the reference point for the antenna. It knows exactly where 90 degrees is. So the purple lines represent the beam, and they obviously diverge as they get towards the target. So if we zoom right out now, I've drawn another aircraft at 40 miles away. Zoom right out. Obviously the beam continues to get larger, but at 40 miles we've got a target just here. Now obviously the target is above the center line of the beam angle. So the purple lines represent the pulses hitting this target, and it hits just here, and a return pulse is generated, and this returns in this direction, represented by these lines here, and these lines are 90 degrees to the return pulse. So if we zoom out, we can see that the return pulse looks parallel to the center line, but further we get out, you can see it's getting closer and closer. And if we go back to the antenna, we've got these return yellow pulses here, which are 90 degrees to the center line of the line to the target. And when they get to the antenna, you see the yellow line here, it's obviously going to hit E1 before this same pulse hits E2 here, because it's closer to it. Now the distance, the physical distance between E1 and E2 is known. So using simple trigonometry, you can determine the angle of elevation to the target. Now you'll note that this has to be incredibly precise. You can see how we're talking nanoseconds here. It's going to hit, this one's going to hit there nanoseconds before this one.
Yeah.
Okay, so a slight inaccuracy in the angles here, and it's not going to work. It's going to give errors. Here I've taken a snapshot of some of the different angles in which a pilot can set his antenna in order to scan a particular section of the sky. These are typical upper and lower elevation limits based on a maximum range of 40 nautical miles. These limits are displayed here. Let's say the jet is flying at 10,000 feet and the pilot tilts the antenna to achieve this position. The upper portion continues to grow with increased range, but the bottom remains at the altitude of the aircraft, i.e. 10,000 feet. In this situation, the radar will not detect anything below 10,000 feet. So up to now, everything's been intuitive, logical. You can see how it works. The radar is essentially an angle measuring device, much like a sextant, except it measures angles to physical objects rather than the luminaries, and it can also measure azimuth as well as elevation. But essentially it's just a tool to measure angles. Now let's start to introduce globe geometry into the mix. And
just before I move on, anyone got a problem with any of that?
I think so.
No, sounded fine. My only question was that does the pilot decide which part of the air he's going to scan, or does it, do a up and down until it, we'll say, oh, we found such this height. Is anyone familiar enough?
Don't know enough about it.
No, okay. I was just curious because it seemed a bit, we'll just scan above us and not below us. So it seemed like, I would have thought you'd have a system that did a general scan, and then if you needed to be a bit more specific, you would edit it. But okay. I don't know myself, so I'll have to look into that one.
No.
I'll see where he goes from here.
And things start getting real crazy to the point where...
I'm just going to speed this up because it's a bit slow. Let's put it on... Go.
I'm not even sure what it is they're claiming that happens. Probably you'll be as confused as I am by the end of this. So there are two main problems as I see it. One is the drop due to curvature, and the other is the ever-changing atmospheric conditions in the region between the antenna and the target. Okay, let's deal with the drop due to Earth curvature first. So I've got an example here. The blue is the Earth curvature drawn to exact scale, 3,959 miles. If I zoom in to here, we've got one aircraft. He's going to be doing the detecting. So his antenna is sending out a signal, represented by the purple line, and he's at 10,000 feet. So his signal, the bottom of his signal, is also at 10,000 feet.
Okay, we've got another aircraft here, also at 10,000 feet, just here. So obviously the bottom limit of the radar here is above this aircraft. So theoretically it shouldn't detect it. The only way that the other aircraft would be able to detect this one would be if he was to lower his antenna beam by 1 bar. So let's do that. The aircraft here is now within the beam signal, so theoretically would be detected. However, he is 1.82 miles lower than the 10,000 feet mark displayed on the radar screen within this aircraft. So some sort of exponential function would need to be included within the calculation at the radar processing stage for this to be able to be calculated and for the correct elevation to be shown on the radar screen for the pilot. I would suggest that something like the 8 inches per mile squared or something similar should be input into the processing system for it to be calculated.
Possibly.
All that goes out the window, however, when you do an image search for super refracting duct. This is what comes up. What they appear to be saying is that the signals are bent all the time, and the degree in which they're bent are divided into 3 classifications: super refraction, standard refraction, and subrefraction.
You familiar with that, Alan? Lost him. No, crickets. Okay, move on.
But essentially all of them are bending the radar signals. So super refraction is used to explain why some objects that are beyond the curvature and should not normally be seen are seen by the radar. Now super refraction follows the curvature of the Earth. So signals will be sent over the curvature of the Earth, and if you look at this one here, you'll see that it creates what they call a duct. This one's a super refracting duct, and the signal is trapped within this super refracting duct, and that's how it can get around the curvature of the Earth and see things that would normally be blocked. Okay, normal refraction, so in normal conditions the signal's being bent up, okay, away. Anything higher than super refraction is normal, I guess, but the point is it's being bent up away from the Earth, and then subrefraction is obviously even further. Okay, so let's focus on this image produced by the US Navy. Let's say that this is an aircraft flying at 10,000 feet, and anything along this dotted line here is also at 10,000 feet. Which one of these conditions is more in line with this?
But isn't it developed by the Navy? Wouldn't that be radar coming from a boat, from a ship, close to the surface of the water?
More than likely, not necessarily, but more than likely, yes.
So my first question would be, does it apply to a plane flying at 10,000 feet? Since you big difference between 10,000 feet and the radar on a boat. But anyway.
I would suggest it's super refraction. And I would also suggest that super refraction must be occurring 100% of the time for a radar to function correctly. But that isn't correct, because, as referenced here, the presence of surface ducts and elevated ducts, especially over land, are extremely difficult to predict and may persist for very short periods of time. The atmospheric conditions favourable to duct formation are difficult to predict using conventional weather forecasting techniques. So there you have it. Super refracting ducts, or super refraction, is only invoked to explain why some objects are able to be detected beyond the horizon and are not a normal occurrence. So let's say it's a normal day, no super refraction going on, no super refracting ducts.
So it's just normal.
No line of sight issues, there's nothing being blocked by any curvature. We've got a target here that's 10,000 feet in altitude, and using the example from earlier of 120 miles, so this distance is 120 miles.
Yeah, but again, you're using something describing a surface function. How do you know that's what's happening?
We had a 1.82 mile drop. Yes, that's miles. Nearly 2 miles of drop here, okay, to the target. So what they seem to be saying is that under normal conditions, the signal is being bent upwards. So we've already got a 1.82 mile problem here.
It keeps on getting that wrong.
Being bent.
You going, Paul?
He keeps getting that normal one being bent upwards wrong. It's not being bent upwards. Just because it gains altitude doesn't mean it's bending upwards. It's clear in the diagram that he's showing that it's actually being bent downwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was something I was going to say earlier, but I didn't. I'll come back to this one. Go back to when he showed all the images on the screen. The first one he pointed to, that one, shows them all clearly, although they're bending down, but then he didn't like that when he went back down to the one that's the bottom. So, yes, it's been... And also, he's treating it as though it's this little single beam of radar. By the time it gets out to there, it's quite a wide beam. But anyway, we were about... Not quite there, about there.
But under normal conditions, the signal is being bent upwards. So we've already got a 1.82 mile problem here, but the signal is being bent up and away under normal conditions. What I'm saying is that only during super refracting conditions can this target or any target along this dotted line be seen and an accurate elevation angle determined. But then again, even that's wrong. You can't actually get an accurate elevation if you've got bendy radar signals. And here's why. I've drawn an example using super refraction. So the bottom of the radar signal now is following the curve of the Earth exactly, 10,000 feet. The top is also being curved, and then I've drawn a centre line, which is the halfway point between those two lines, all going all the way back to the aircraft here. So again, I've placed another target aircraft here. So let's say that the beam, represented by the purple line here, reflects off the aircraft and sends out a return pulse, this yellow one. So at that particular point on this line, this pulse intersects this line, so it's perpendicular. But because this is a curved line, every single point along here is going to be a different angle until this angle now is different to what it was back at the target aircraft. And I'll show you an example of this because I've taken a screenshot. This screenshot is from the target aircraft end. If I put it next to this one, you can see that the angle is different now. The implications being that when this pulse here hits the two receive antennas, this angle is going to be different to the angle in which it actually was reflected from the target aircraft. So it's absolutely no use whatsoever.
So it doesn't work.
Radar system could not possibly calculate what that angle was. But that's under super refracting conditions. And normally that doesn't occur. That's just odd occurrences when the weather permits. So normal conditions then, what I've done here is I've rotated everything up very slightly. So the bottom part here is no longer following the curvature of the Earth. It's up. Everything's gone up very slightly. Well, it doesn't really help matters in terms of detecting anything. You've still got the bent lines. The return pulses are still going to be at a different angle to what they were when they were reflected off the target aircraft. But you've also got the added problem now that because it's gone up, the aircraft here flying at 10,000 feet, which should be absolutely no problem to detect, it cannot be detected because the bottom part of the beam has been refracted upwards due to normal atmospheric conditions. Up to now, I've been humouring the notion of bendy radar signals. The truth is that once a pulse has left the antenna, it has no idea of the conditions out ahead of it. It doesn't know whether the atmosphere is refracting, super refracting, or sub-refracting, and therefore any data fed back to the signal processing system is pretty meaningless. Okay, after saying all that, there is a way that all of these problems go away. The elevation angles work. We don't need to worry about refraction. We don't need to worry about targets being seen beyond the curvature. Everything works perfectly, and that is on a flat Earth. Now, I know that will trigger some people, and if you are one of those people, I invite you to show me exactly how radar systems detect elevations of other aircraft on a globe, using similar methodology to what I'm using here. If you haven't got AutoCAD, then you're welcome to come on a Skype call with me, and you can run me through it. I can draw everything, and you can explain to me exactly how it works with these two elevation antennas and how they can measure angles from bendy signals. And I'd also like it backing up with citation as well, because this sort of thing must have been thought about, surely, if we do live on a globe.
Surely.
My email address is in the description below for anybody who thinks they might be able to explain this. Thanks for watching.
There you go.
So basically, blah 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 blah. This only works on the flat Earth. Blah.
Yes, pretty much. But
you're double feeding the audio too, Timbo.
Oh, am I?
We're hearing it twice. Yeah.
Oh, you're hearing it twice.
Me.
Is it just Stu, or tell me, farmers, are you getting it twice?
No.
Just you, Blue.
I've turned down the volume in the shared screen, so that way I'm only hearing the volume once in Discord.
Oh, I know why you might be getting it twice. I was sharing my camera, so if you're hearing my camera feed, if I stop my camera,
Yeah, I've just turned down the volume over in the shared screen volume.
Then yeah, so if you might have got it twice then. Yeah, so you shouldn't now. There we go. Is that better?
Oh, you're fine. It's when the video's playing.
Yeah, because I was sharing it.
Yeah, if you're listening to it in Discord, I turned the volume down.
Yeah, if I play this now, it should be fine.
Discord shared.
This has to be incredibly.
So that should be
precise.
fine.
That way you're not hearing it twice.
We're talking nanoseconds here. It's going to hit. This one's going to hit there nanoseconds before this one.
Should be fine now, hopefully for you. Because I had my camera. Nope. Still hearing it twice. Because I wondered.
You're hearing it twice because I'm hearing you through in Discord voice, and then I could hear it twice if I had the volume up in the shared screen.
Oh, okay. Yes. I think I know.
So I turned down the volume in the shared screen version, and then I could hear it through you in here.
Yep. Anyway, enough derp, I think. How many people we got out there? We got enough for a quiz? Good enough for a quiz? Hands up if you want a quiz out there. I can't see any hands. Where's my what's he gone? I lost it. Oh no. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. We ready for a quiz in the chat? You guys?
Yeah. Oh, that's where I've got Discord covered up. That's where Alan went. Rosie turned up.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I got 12 people out there. I think that's enough for a quiz. Yes, got a few yeses. Let's go with that. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's go. I'll just get it all set up. I gotta make sure all this plays in the right place. That's set up. Using some browse to an individual screen. Okay, good. That should work. Okay. And if I push this button, do that over there. There we go. Now I just got to change Discord share, so you guys can share the what's the thing? Do it that way. So I'll stop that share. Oops. And there we go, share. And then I'll share that. There you go. Scantily clad figures. I thought people would really like to see some scantily clad figures.
Well, how about those painted by somebody?
You didn't like those ones?
Do you know Picasso used to be able to paint, and the older he got, the worse he got.
Okay. Make sure I got my chat up. I see the answers. Oh, Clive's turned up just in time for the quiz. Here we go. Scanning.
Oh, well done, Clive. Well done. You got every question right. Well done.
Pablo Picasso. Actually, it's not all Pablo Picasso, but they're all abstract.
No, it's not all Picasso.
Okay. I can't remember what I did in these quizzes, so let's see. Oh, right. Okay. What city is this?
Oh. What happened to question one?
This is question one. Hang on.
It says question
so
2.
That is question 1.
Okay.
I'm questioning why
Question
I did
one,
that.
there is one.
Why did I do that? Okay, question 2.
I don't know. Never mind.
What city? Okay. Now,
I don't know. What one have you got?
These are in between. Who can work out what city this might be? Any ideas? I can't remember what it is. Oh, I think I know what it is.
Don't know what that one is. And there's a clue on there as well, and I still couldn't tell you what it is.
Still, yeah. It's a European city. I'll give you that.
Italy.
Oh.
Italy.
Italy? You think it's a city?
Italy's not a city.
We've got a city. We've got a Madrid. We've got a London. We've got a Washington. We've got
That's definitely no. That isn't London. I can tell you that much. It's not London.
Or Rome then.
Rome.
Yeah. Or roads lead to Rome.
Or,
yeah.
Well, except that they don't. They go around in circles.
No, obviously. They might have done once, but they didn't have bypasses back then, and you know, North Circulars and M25s and.
Okay, I'm going to give you. Oh, that's right. I forgot I did this.
Oh.
That is the longitude and latitude. To give you a clue, who can get it quickly from the longitude and latitude?
And that's European, is it? Oh, that's that's right over there. No, I don't know.
Don't know. I've got no answers out there. It is Moscow.
That's not Europe.
Well, close enough.
No.
I had this.
It's a European city, bloody Moscow.
Yeah, Moscow. I didn't think Moscow was Europe.
What continent is Moscow on?
Asia.
Asia. So you're going to say it's an Asian city.
Well, China's on the same continent too. Then we'd say, is that in Europe?
It's a big bloody continent. It's
yeah.
I had this one as a
so India's in Europe. Iraq's in Europe.
In Europe.
Yeah.
What's Google say?
Being the most. Well, Wikipedia says it is.
Oh. Okay.
That's bollocks. That's not Europe.
I don't know where you. When I had this when I was learning the continents, and they said, "Oh, well, is Russia part of Europe or not?" Oh, yes, and some said no. Yeah, I think
no.
I think the boundary's a little bit discrete between Europe and Asia. Anyway.
Yeah, I think it is. Okay, whatever. Fair enough.
Whatever. So I believed it was a European city and been vindicated by Wikipedia.
No, the net says technically it's European, but nah.
Okay.
We should ask Putin and see if he.
Clive Wells says Moscow. Look, Clive Wells says Moscow is in Europe, and if Clive Wells says it, then there you go. Now I can't remember what my next question is. Let's see. Trivial. Here we go. Oh, okay. What planet literally rains diamonds?
Planets? Because I'd have just gone one, but I suppose the others, yeah.
We got any answers? Russia. Zebulon says Russia is in Ukraine.
Well, we can rule out our planet. We can rule out Mars.
Carl's gone with the same answer I would give. It would be the gas giants. Yeah. And yes, Russia is in Ukraine. They weren't welcome though.
No. We've got John Stock says Uranus, who's the first one to give an actual planet. Any other guesses?
It'd be Jupiter, Saturn, because I know it was theorised that possibly the core of Jupiter is a giant diamond because it's it's all carbon and it's compressed, and you ain't going to compress it any further than a diamond.
Okay, we only had only one person making a guess, so let's go. The answer is Saturn and Jupiter, the two gas giants.
No, just two of them then.
Yeah. There you go.
Isn't one of the other ones a gas giant?
Okay. Saudi Arabia imports camels from what country? Should know this.
Right.
Oh, I wonder what country that could be. That's a toughie.
We discussed this one. Says Paul. He gets it
Only
right.
because we had too many of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's better to export things that you have too many of. Yeah, that is correct. It is Australia. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Who is the youngest person ever to appear on a Billboard chart?
The youngest person?
Yeah.
It's probably Michael Jackson.
Sorry, Larry, it was Saturn and Jupiter. Not
Jupiter.
Neptune. Yeah. Youngest person, Michael Jackson. Lena Zavaroni. That French baby.
Lena Zavaroni, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Marie Osmond. Yeah, so that's why I went with Michael Jackson, because, you know, when it was the Jackson 5, he was a wee nipper.
He was. We've got a few answers out there. The correct answer is Blue Ivy Carter, and I had no idea who it was.
Who? Hang on a minute.
Who?
Blue Ivy Carter.
If you want to... Oh, yes. I have no idea who she is.
Blue Ivy Carter, born January the 7th, 2012, to Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yep, Beyonce's kid. So
Good old Bay once.
So there you go.
There you go.
I didn't know who
Never
she
heard
was.
of her.
No. Imagine being called Blue. Now, who would have a name like Blue? Now,
yeah.
What is the only US state that borders just one other state?
Alaska.
Alaska. I don't think Alaska borders any other states.
It doesn't border any other state.
I know. I just threw it out there.
Maine, I think.
We've got a Maine from Blue. Really answers out there.
Well, he's probably right then. I mean, I thought maybe Florida, but I can't remember whether there's one state at the top of it or two.
I think it's got a couple of that, Florida.
Is it?
Are those people suggesting one country rather than one other state? Because why would we have Alaska? We've got a Florida. We've got a California. The correct answer is Maine. I knew Blue was correct.
Blue was right. Well done.
Yeah, Matt's Google food confirmed it.
Good man. Nice to know you're there.
Okay.
Just confirming everything, Matt.
He didn't but Matt didn't get the planet question right. Oh well, there you go. Okay, what is the Twitter's bird official? Hang on, I can't remember the answer to this. I have a feeling I may.
Would it be name?
Yes, I
Is that a
believe
complete
it is.
sentence? What is the
No.
Twitter
No.
bird's official?
No,
No,
I have
it's
a
not.
feeling it's name. What I'm going to do... Oh, no, I can't do that. You'll see it. Okay. Any guesses? I think it's name. What is the Twitter's bird official name? Let's see. Any answers? Country Twitty.
Oh, Christ. Can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, can't wait, Twitty.
Twitty bird. The blue bastard.
It's Family Guy. Oh, brilliant.
Musket.
Blue bastard.
Okay. The correct answer is Larry.
Larry?
Larry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, that's... I'm not going to say that's great. Larry. Okay. Ready for... Which city is this? Da-da-da-dum.
Not London.
Not London. Oh, could be London.
Oh, wait a minute. It's got a river going. Is it a river or a train line running
Yeah,
through
there's
there?
very few cities have rivers running through them. Like most of them do.
I'm thinking possibly Paris. I must admit. It's not Moscow. We've had. Oh, never mind.
We had Moscow already.
We've had Moscow.
Oh, we've got a nope de facto, not London.
It's definitely not London. I think all of us Brits know London from the air. I'm guessing Paris.
We got a Paris guess inside.
I reckon a German city, Munich.
Munich, could be. I'll give you the longitude and latitude. 48 degrees, 2 degrees east.
I'm going Paris.
Berlin. We go in Paris. Staying with Paris.
Berlin would be a bit further over, wouldn't it? I think it's Paris.
Staying with Paris. That's because the correct answer is Paris.
Paris. Yeah.
Paris.
If it's only 2 degrees east, that ain't Berlin, because Berlin's obviously much further over.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Next trivia question. What is a community of ants called? Dang.
Bastards.
Somehow I don't think dang.
My garden gets filled with them every summer. Bloody ants everywhere. I swear there's just one huge nest under my sort of paved area.
We've got a pile. We've got several colonies of ants.
Yes, a colon of ants. Oh, yes, that's better, Carl. Yes, a colony. Oh, I got a colon of ants. Really?
Why?
Yeah, I'll go colony.
Go colony. That's a colony is correct.
Colony.
A colony. Just colony, I do. I'll accept that. Okay. Oh, this is another easy one. Whose head floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee?
Which name do you want?
Roger Melly, the man on the telly.
So the trouble is, I did this quiz a few weeks ago, and Paul has done a quiz since this. So if you're playing
with Cassius Clay in it, right?
Yes, exactly. Yes. Is it Muhammad Clay or Cassius Ali?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Which name do you want?
I'd accept both. I'd accept both. Technically, Muhammad Ali said it because that's what his name was when he said it. But Cassius Clay, I'd accept as well. It's the same person. Okay, where did Heineken beer originate?
Heineken. I don't know about originate, but I know where most of it's brewed.
I know where a lot of it's drunk.
You see all these adverts about so good the Danes don't want to see it leave. That's okay because it's not brewed over there; it's brewed over here.
Most of it's drunk
literally
sitting
up the
down.
road in Northampton. Heineken. It's
We've got a Switzerland. We've got a Belgium.
Is it?
We've got a Sheffield.
Is it another one of the Danish ones?
Is
Danish?
Sheffield?
Is in the bladder of a horse acceptable as an answer?
Is that what it tastes like? What were you trying to say, Blue? I didn't quite catch it. You were trying to say something.
Netherlands is what I thought.
Netherlands, okay.
Oh, yeah, it could be. Yeah, might be.
Spooky saying Moscow.
Spooky's just going to say Moscow to every bloody question.
Blue is correct. It is done. Brewed in
it is Dutch.
It is a Dutch beer.
Dutch, Danish, well, you know.
Well, I've been by the factory, so okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Next, Circus. Oh, it's this is an easy one. Circus du Soleil started in what? Circus. Yeah, you know.
That sounds French to me.
We got a French.
Yeah, I think it's French.
It does sound French.
Yeah, Cirque du Soleil.
We have a French and we have a Canadian.
So it probably wasn't France at all, but yeah, I reckon it's France.
Parlez-vous français?
Yes, I know the answer to this. And yes, it does sound French, but that would be because it's Canadian. Yep.
Well, that's close enough.
Canada, France, they get confused.
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Yeah, what's that all about?
French.
What's that all
French
about,
Canada. Okay, what was
the
13th sign of the zodiac going to be called?
We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? And I can't remember what it bloody was.
Because that's a
Starts with an O.
That's
and
with
it
an
ends in
O.
cuss. And it's got a fee in the middle of it. And an oo.
It's got. I would have just said it has letters. We've got an Oscar.
Oscar.
Put them
There
all
we
together
go.
and you get
Yeah, Matt's comes.
Ophiuchus.
Matt's come through with the answer. So there you go. Monkey. No, it wasn't going to be called monkey. There we go. Yes.
The Babylonian said 13. Don't like that. We'll stick with 12, thank you. We'll just forget that one's there.
Yep, that's right. Okay. Question. Oh, another city. Here we go. I think I'm on
bloody London.
No, I think I'm on another continent this time. What city's that?
Oh, that's different.
That's what I would call a new one because everything's in straight bloody lines. They started from a clean sheet, didn't they?
There's quite a few clues in there too.
Where we've had thousands of years to mess it up. It's Merkin. I don't know which Merkin one it is.
Okay. You might give it away by the symbol of the shields as to what country it is. Of the road names, you might not say change. Ooh, I went the wrong way. Sorry. Go back. No one saw that. See how many people got.
I won't say anything.
Larry had Chicago. It's all right.
That's all right.
I don't know. I must have had my things in the wrong order. That's a shame.
I wouldn't know what the place looked like if I tripped over it, to be honest.
Nah, it was more that I was going to give you the latitude and longitude, and then you'd say, "Oh, might be so." Yeah. Okay, got that one wrong. Next time. What are the two fruit pieces in a cosmopolitan?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had.
Good day, Mr. 42. It's good to see you.
Hello! It's my favourite Mr. 42.
It is. Okay, Mr. 42 sounds like a person who would know. Oh, we've got peach and granada. We've got olive and onion. No, somehow I don't think it's olive and onion. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Oh no! That's
bananas and another banana. So spooky.
No, that's a banana daiquiri. No, come on.
Steak and eggs. No.
Steak and eggs. It'd be a strange drink, but I'd give it a go.
I don't think I would. Okay, the two fruit pieces in a cosmopolitan are cranberry and lime.
Oh, that's why I've never had it then, because I don't like cranberry.
Yes. We had one lime from Armageddon, so he got it half right. And I don't think we had anyone who had cranberry. Okay, next question.
Nobody mentioned cranberry.
Dating from before 1000 BCE, what is bad luck? Why is it bad luck to open an umbrella indoors?
Indoors.
Anyone know why it's bad luck to open an umbrella indoors?
No, I must admit, I've never heard that one. People always said it's unlucky, but it's like, really? So if it's been tipping down outside and you come in with a wet umbrella, you have to open it up to drop.
Yeah. So when I looked at this, I found, yes, it went way back 1,000 years BC. Just to be correct.
So
to
3,000 years ago.
Sun. We've got Carl saying it's because you block the sun. Of course, your mum will hit you is probably
indoors?
a more correct answer, but sun god says Carl. Yes, Carl is correct. It is because opening away from the sun rays will anger the sun god Ra. That's why. Close enough. They did have umbrellas or similar devices in Egypt. What country did bagels originate from? So we know a country associates themselves with bagels. Is that
I'll say French again. France.
Well, we've got a France. We've got an Israel. Yeah, nothing. Carl says France. Nerd says Nerd Alert says Israel.
Bangladesh.
Armageddon. Bangladesh is a good one. We've got a Denmark, says Mr. 42. Germany, says Larry. Okay. Any other guesses from Eternally? I like the Bangladesh one. That should be where they come from.
Baglivia.
Baklava. That's where baklava comes from, is Bolivia. Okay. The correct answer is Poland. No one had Poland.
Oh.
So there you go. No. Google is never wrong. Okay. Here we go. This is, I don't know, may or may not be easy. What is the name of the group of men who elect the Pope? Oh, yep, see, Nerd Alert agrees with me. He says he looked it up. It comes from Warsaw.
Steady, Carl. Steady.
He started that way.
Oh.
Oh, we've got Cardinals. We've got Conclave. We've got the College of Cardinals. Oh, someone's saying Spooky Bed Hair elects the Pope. No.
That's right. Yeah, Conclave does ring a bell.
Okay. It is the Flock of Cardinals. No, it's the College of Cardinals. Is the correct answer.
Flock of seagulls? Oh, no, they ran. Huh.
Yes, the Conclave is a different thing, but yes, the college, all the Cardinals get together, the College of Cardinals. Okay. APGAR. That's APGAR score. APGAR is given to what?
I have no idea.
Larry got it.
Not a clue.
Larry got it. Larry did get it.
College Cardinals, yeah.
Newborns. Oh, Mr. 42's out there with newborns. And Carl thinks slimliness. Slimliness is an Slimliness. Okay, I'm not sure if I've ever used that word in my life. Slimliness. Okay, anyone from inside? And
no, I ain't got a clue.
I believe Mr. 42 is correct. It is a score of the health of newborns.
Well, you see, I cheated because my two stepsons were way past that stage when I first met them. So, yeah.
There you go. Okay, next goes to the next city. What city is that?
Ooh. Well, I'll tell you what, it's definitely not London.
Definitely not London.
Definitely
not London. I know it is not London. Ooh, we've got a Canberra, we've got a London, we've got a Bolivia, we've got a Geneva. A Geneva?
Yeah, if there was a lake there to make it Canberra, but...
You mean that big brown thing?
Right, but if they ever decide to bomb it, it's got a great target.
Hasn't it just? Yeah, that really is. Right here. This is where you're aiming for.
Yeah, aim for this.
Right here. Aim for this.
There's the longitude and latitude. You might notice the S on
that building that's got that special shape in the middle of that target looks good, pretty familiar, Timbo.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's got a very, very unique shape.
Yes. And
I think I need to burley the waters a bit,
yes,
right?
Burley the waters, yes. Particularly the lake. You can burley the lake.
Yeah.
That's what I said, if there's a Lake Burley Griffin there.
Yeah, that's right. My work's just underneath the end, even. That's where I work when I do go into work. So this is Canberra, is the correct place, yes.
Oh, right. I wouldn't know.
Capital of Australia for those who thought Sydney was. Just pointing out, no, Sydney is not the capital of Australia. Canberra is, this is it.
mean, Sydney.
And just for the ones that don't know why Canberra is where it is, because Sydney couldn't decide and Melbourne couldn't decide, so they went, okay, we'll just do it in the middle between the two.
Well, to strictly correct, Sydney decided it was them and Melbourne decided it was them, and everybody else said, okay, we can't have that. So, yes, they picked it roughly.
And both Sydney and Melbourne said, fuck no, we don't want the politicians anywhere near us.
That's right. So, went roughly halfway between Sydney and Melbourne. Here we go. Next trivia. The candlestick, lead pipe, knife, revolver, rope. And what else are the 6 weapons in the standard game of Clue or Cluedo, depending on where you come from? I call it Cluedo, but it's American.
Well, I think we called it Cluedo over here as well.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's been a long time since I played that game. We used to play that with the kids.
We've got no ropes. Ropes are in there, Zebulon. Chair, says Spooky Bed here. Table, says Carl. I like to see how you kill somebody with a table. That would be fun.
I keep thinking it's a set of Stilsons, although they won't have called it that. It'll be a spanner or an adjustable or something. I'm sure it looks like a set of Stilsons.
Mr. 42 is going for spanner.
Yeah.
The candlestick's already on there, Larry.
Gun's already there.
Revolver's already there.
It's a set of Stilsons. It's an adjustable spanner or something. I'm sure it was over here.
Drop it on them,
because
Timbo.
they're big weighty thing that you give somebody a good crack across the head with, you know.
Carl, I was just imagining the setup. You sort of have to stick it on the ceiling and then get him to walk into the middle of the room and then cut the rope. How to get the table to kill somebody. Pipe wrench. Yeah, any of those would do. Wrench, still, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Spanner, I would have gone with it. So that is correct. Mr. 42, I think, was first.
I'll just get my wrench. Yes.
Splat. Yes, Splat. What city did Starbucks open its first store in 1971?
I don't think it was over here.
No, Starbucks didn't do so well over here.
Don't go in such places.
Oh no, they tried.
I've got perfect.
They tried.
Got a perfectly good kettle at home.
Yeah, no. Well, I think they were pretty fussy about their coffee over here, and Starbucks isn't so fussy about their coffee, so didn't do so well. Oh, we've got America. We've got a Seattle, or Settle. We've got a Settle. It says we've got a Cisco. Guess. Where's Cisco? Oh, it's as in San Francisco, I assume. No,
Cisco. Yeah, Cisco.
We've got a New York. Okay. The correct answer is Seattle, which is what I think Larry was typing out.
That's what Larry got.
He was spelling it my
He's got
way.
Seattle.
Yeah, spelling it my way. Oh no, that's correct. Oh, except
No,
he didn't have the capital.
He spelt it right.
Yeah.
You might just want to clean your glasses or something. I don't know.
I might do it. Let's do that. There we go. Fix. Okay. What do you call filler pastries stuffed and chopped with nuts, honey, and syrup?
Who's nuts?
Oh, not my note.
Yeah. That
It's
changes.
not Nathan
what you
Oakley's
call-
nuts.
Ew.
George.
Nasty.
Says, calling George. Tasty. Yes, I would call it tasty. Larry says baklava.
That's,
We've got diabetes, says Zebulon.
yes, it's probably why I don't eat stuff like that.
Messy. Messy.
It is messy. It is very messy. But we have a correct answer. Baklava. Baklava.
Baklava.
Baklava. With a K instead of a C. Baklava.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or baklava.
Baklava. Yeah, baklava. Baklava. Someone will have to tell me. Dentist joy. That is probably very true, Nerd Alert. What is the Jewish New Year called? Any ideas? Jewish New Year.
It's the It's the new year. Oh boy. I don't know.
In a car. Oops. Oops. I think he's trying again. Sabitslan. They're using it. Can't. Okay, no into no one. Give you one more chance. It is a Rosh Hashanah.
Never
There you
heard of
go. Neither did I must admit.
I'm not Jewish, so I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, but sometimes you hear these things. That's what's trivia. What book starts with the line, "Call me Ishmael"?
Oh, that's too easy.
We should get a few answers for that one.
I'll let everybody else have a crack at that because that's just too easy.
Okay. Nerd Alert was first out.
Yeah. Moby Dick.
Moby Dick.
Call me Ishmael.
Call me Ishmael. Very famous line. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Moby Dick. Okay. I think we're due for another city.
Oh, I feel a bit Moby.
Have I got one more city? I've got one more city. Okay. Where is that?
Yeah, still not London.
Still not London. Definitely not London. I'll give you some coordinates.
Definitely. 19 degrees.
It's got an airport.
It's got an airport?
Yeah, most cities do. It's right in the middle of it, though, isn't it? Blimey.
For those that can read it, there's a few clues, but you might find it a bit hard to read.
I can't. It's not big enough. Hang on.
Yeah, it's
Let
not.
me make it bigger. No, I can't quite read them.
No. That was what I was hoping, because you would give it away.
Well, it's oh god.
I'll give you a clue.
19.
It's on the west coast of somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'd figured from the coordinates. I'm just trying to think what it bloody is.
We've got an Alaska. We've got Alaska,
It's
Darwin.
definitely
Egypt
not
is
Alaska.
not Darwin. It's on the wrong side of the equator for Darwin. Tel Aviv, Ireland, and Mr. 42 has a Mumbai. And we have Stoke-on-Trent. It's a
I
little
reckon it's Mumbai. I reckon it's Mumbai.
Mumbai, yes.
I'm going for Mumbai.
We got a Mumbai.
You've got to love the British sense of humour here. That's still called Trent.
It is Mumbai. So you're right, Terry.
Mumbai.
Only because I zoomed in and I seen something that said
Mumbai.
Phoenix Market something Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Ah.
And what was Mumbai used to be called? Anyone?
I can't remember.
Bombay.
Oh, is it Bombay?
Yes, it's called Bombay.
Okay.
So, yes, Mr. 42 got that correct again. He's doing really well out there. Okay, Bombay is correct. Next. Oh, I do have another set of trivia. This might be the end. Okay, what is the first element on the periodic table? Dubai.
I didn't hear that for the squeal. What was that?
What is the first element on the periodic table? We've got an oxygen.
Really?
We've got a hydrogen. We had oxygen first, which was hydrogen first, which was good. And a titanium. Yes, the first element is hydrogen. I think I was going to change that one and never got around to it. Okay. What object did Ben Franklin... Oh, here's another easy one. Supposedly attached to the end of his kite string to prove that lightning is electricity.
Yeah, his hands.
His hands, yes. Key.
Big
well, I do believe the key was further up the kite string, so his
Yes,
hands were actually on the end of it, right?
I think that's fair enough, otherwise it would have flown away.
Yeah, exactly. It had to be his hands, otherwise it wouldn't have stayed there. Yeah.
I think it was his son, wasn't it?
He's probably
Well,
got
Ben
his son.
Franklin was attached to the end of the kite then.
I did hear the story that he got...
The kite, I think his son was.
Yeah, I did hear that it wasn't Ben Franklin who touched the key. He got somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Knowing exactly what would happen. Okay. What does a Scoville unit measure? Scoville, sorry, I think that's pronounced.
Scoville.
Heart.
Yep, we've all got that one.
So he measures scoves.
Measures. What sort of heat was what I was looking for? Yes, Mr. Foot. Was that the first
Sort
one?
makes the back of your neck sweat. That sort.
Yes. I think the first pepper heat, I think, is probably, I'll give you pepper heat. Although, correctly, Nerd Alert is correct, because that's actually what it is, but spiciness. I think the capsaicin is the correct.
Capsaicin.
That's the one, yeah. What US president put a twinkle in the country's Millennium Time capsule?
He might have tried a Twinkie.
He put one in the time capsule. Oh, we got a Jimmy Carter already. Is it Jimmy Carter? Would that be about right? Any chances? Yeah.
Well, when they pull it out in 100 years, they'll be able to eat it.
Quite possibly. Yes, it was Bill Clinton. I didn't get any other answers. Was put a Twinkie in. Okay. I think this might be the last question.
Is that like Twinkie off of Buck Rogers?
I'm not old enough to know that. Believe it or not. Okay. Any internal answers? We've got a couple out. One out there.
You're talking about the original ones or the modern day ones?
Modern day one will do.
Be resin, wouldn't it?
Resin. Oh, it is just the good old simple rubber. That is correct.
Okay.
And it's made of solid rubber. And apparently it hurt when you get hit by them.
Little Spacemat knew that.
Spacemat knew that, yes. And I think there's one up further. I think Larry had it before Spacemat. Yeah.
Hard stuff. Larry
stuff.
said rubber, yeah.
Yeah, vulcanized rubber, I bet. Yes, I think it would be vulcanized rubber. And that was it. So there's your quiz for tonight.
Oh, thank you for that.
That's okay.
Good.
Now, I've been sitting there for a while. I'd forgotten what I had in there. So, good. I'll do another one for next week. What else have we got?
Oh, did I miss the last lot of the questions?
Oh, they're pretty easy. You would have got them all. So, you knew which president put the Twinkie in, didn't you?
I got bloody blue. What I know about American.
People are left after the quiz. So I was just looking at my stream suddenly. A lot of people left after the quiz. They only wanted to do the quiz. That's fair enough. Okay.
What a stupid phone call that was. You're a contractor, yes. We'd like to show you some send you some costs of using our services. I don't need your services.
I'll send them to you.
I'm registered as a sole trader. When I come to do my taxes, I do it all on the government website. What do I need to pay somebody else to do that for? Oh, get my manager to ring you tomorrow. No.
No.
What? Why? Why do I pay somebody else to do something I can do for free? Oh, these people.
What else have I got?
Yeah.
I got a list of things here. We've got a choice between watching derp about a balloon or derp about the dome. Take a pick. What do you want?
Balloons. I like balloons.
Balloons? Okay, we'll do the balloon one.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess which balloon that is. Whoops, where's Mobius gone? That one.
Is there a fluffy kitten in the balloon?
No.
I hope so.
Would be nice.
Oh,
no fluffy
that's not
kitten.
good. Oh,
Okay.
stop sending me emails about a book I want to buy. Christ.
There's something strange about this Chinese spy balloon that just...
How's that? You getting double of that? Okay.
No. Oh.
Okay.
I really
go.
want
There's
it.
something strange about this Chinese spy balloon that just got shot down, and nobody seems to be talking about it.
We're not sharing
Yucca, the first of the 3 high
I'm
altitude.
not. That is true.
You're not. I know you're not. That's why I just said it. Eh?
Yeah.
I can hear it, but I can't see it.
Yep.
Everyone on YouTube can see it. You guys can't.
That's nice.
That's nice, isn't it? Share your screen. What am I sharing? That one.
Oh,
Go live.
It seems the Peanuts one to watch about Dome, but there you go. Tough shit.
You guys voted 20 seconds before they did. So there you go.
Yep. Right, let's click on there. Let's get that. That's from my little blue boxes.
Yeah, if you're sharing it through yourself, I'll turn it down over in there.
Yep. So you should see it in Discord, and we'll go.
There's something strange about this Chinese spy balloon that just got shot down, and nobody seems to be talking about it.
Yucca, the first of the 3 high altitude shots, was prepared and launched from the flight deck of the aircraft carrier USS Boxer. All of Yucca's blast and nuclear radiation instrumentation and a portion of the thermal instrumentation were concentrated in 5 canisters suspended below the weapon at intervals out to 3,000 feet. These instruments were designed to be activated prior to burst time by telemetered commands. At 1125 hours on 28 April, when the Yucca balloon was released, the USS Boxer was operating about 90 nautical miles northeast of Nan Island, Bikini Atoll, maintaining a deck-wind velocity of near 0. 2½ hours later, 1440 hours, at an approximate altitude of 85,000 feet, Yucca was detonated by radio command signal. Failure of the telemeter command transmitter to activate the canister instruments prior to burst time resulted in almost complete loss of data from the balloon dragline equipment.
Tried to blow up the Earth. Some people say. Need to pause every now, just in case. Okay, let's see.
In the 1950s, the United States government started testing nuclear devices detonated from balloons.
I'm pretty sure that's not the balloon, that's just a weather balloon.
Enter Project Yucca, the balloon nuclear detonation test, as part of Operation Hardtack. Quote, Yucca was the codename of the first unique high-altitude test of a nuclear device ever carried out by a stratospheric balloon. The main goal of the United States Department of Defense and Los Alamos Scientific Laboratory was to study the effect of the detonation of a W-25 air defense warhead at high altitude.
I'm going to put this on DERF speed. There you go. Try again.
As part of the developmental work of an anti-ballistic missile. This test, along with 2 other exo-atmospheric detonations, performed using rocket-borne warheads of a megaton scale codenamed Teak and Orange, were included under Operation Newsreel as part of Operation Hardtack. As occurred in most nuclear tests, it was necessary to set up a series of monitoring stations and instrumented vehicles to retrieve
That's
the data
the
at
ad
the moment of
blocker
the explosion.
kicking
The
in.
measurements of the electromagnetic pulse generated by the blast was performed by the Army Signal Research and Development Laboratory from 2 stations located at Wotho and Kusel, approximately 100 miles and 460 miles from Bikini, respectively. Balloon flight testing for Yucca began in 1956 at various locations in the United States,
Yes, we
like
could
Pinellas
read
Naval Air
that
Station in
ourselves.
California,
Don't
Tolman
have to
Air
read
Force
it
Base
out.
in New Mexico, and Goodfellow Air Force Base in Texas. In all, a total of 76 balloons were launched in preparation for the
Death
event.
by power
And on the
plant.
morning of April 28, 1958, the USS Boxer departed from Bikini to the launch point. After the bomb was assembled and armed, the balloon was released at 11:25. During ascent, the nuclear device was separated from the balloon at a distance of 568 feet by a hydraulic load lowering device. And the measurement instrumentation was additionally deployed along a nylon line at specific intervals totaling 3,000 feet below it. At 12:50, the balloon reached a floating altitude of 85,000 feet, and finally at 14:40, the nuclear device was detonated by radio command in a point
there a
located
point?
85
Is he ever
miles
gonna get to
northeast of Inuitak. The device produced a yield of
So I said
1.7
death by
kilotons.
power
He's doing a Witzer, just reading
fact that an
something
electromagnetic
from
pulse was
somewhere.
produced by a nuclear explosion was known since the very first days of nuclear weapons testing. But the magnitude of the EMP and the
put something
significance
up
of its
and just
effects
read
were
it
not
out. It's
realized
like,
for some time. According to the data published in the final report of
just read
Hardtech,
it.
which was declassified several years later, Yuka provided the first indication in United States testing that high-altitude EMP could be
nothing in
more than
this that
100 times
does
as
anything.
intense as a low-altitude EMP. So basically what this article is saying is that the United States tested a nuclear device, a very small one at that, on a balloon to measure the effects of the EMP. And what they found was when an EMP is produced or a nuclear device is detonated in high altitude, it creates a pulse that is 1,000 times stronger than the low altitude EMP. Now, what would happen if an EMP actually hit America? Well, according to this report, it doesn't look very good. In fact, a congressional report states that, quote, an EMP attack would kill 90% of all Americans. 90%.
Don't know if
Quote,
that's quite
in the U.S. House
true,
of Representatives hearing on Thursday, members of the recently defunded EMP Commission informed Congress of the devastation an electromagnetic pulse attack could inflict on the country. In a commission report, former EMP Commission Chairman William Graham and its former Chief of Staff Peter Vincent Perry referred to North Korea using an EMP as a doomsday scenario. It could use its demonstrated satellite launcher to carry a nuclear weapon over the South Pole region and detonate it over the United States to create a high-altitude electromagnetic pulse. The result could be to shut down the electric U.S. power grid for an indefinite period, leading to the death within a year of up to 90% of all Americans.
Okay.
90% of...
That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, Blue.
A bit of a stretch.
If you lost all your power, would you die within a year?
No.
No.
Yes. That's what I thought.
For our country could be a precursor to this exact scenario. On March 26, 2019, President Trump signed Executive Order 13865, coordinating national resilience to electromagnetic pulses, which establishes resilience and security standards for the U.S. critical infrastructure as a national priority initiative. EO 13865 states, quote, an electromagnetic pulse, EMP, has the potential to disrupt the large geographic area, commerce, and stability of EMPs. This is the report of the Commission to assess the threat to the United States from an EMP attack. Volume 1 is from 2004. Now it's pretty long, so I'm just going to show you some of the highlights. Quote, the nature of EMP threat. High-altitude EMP results from the detonation of a nuclear warhead at altitudes about 40 to 400 kilometers of electrical interest. What essentially disrupt or damage electronic and electrical systems over much of the United States. Virtually simultaneous above Chicago can take out all electrical power on the east coast of the United States. And I'm not just talking about the lights shut off. I'm talking about all electrical systems are fried and permanently disabled. Each critical infrastructure in the U.S. is dependent upon other infrastructure.
That blue wasn't in that circle.
Showing you how every bit of this country infrastructure in the U.S. is dependent upon other infrastructures, and it has a little diagram here showing you how every bit of this country is interlinked and relies on each other for success. All of the critical functions of U.S. society and related infrastructures, electric power, telecommunications, energy, financial, transportations, emergency services, water, food, etc., have electronic devices embedded in most aspects of their systems, often providing critical controls. Electric power has thus, telecommunications has all other infrastructure. Therefore, we must over the United States could collapse the nation permanently. And what just happened now with this balloon should be an eye-opener for everybody. Food infrastructure. Quote, EMP can damage or disrupt the infrastructure that supplies food to the population of the United States. Recent federal efforts to better protect the food infrastructure from terrorist attack. Food. Yet an attractive period of multiple, we would be facing an all-out collapse. There would be no water, there would be no food, there would be no gasoline, no cars driving. And if your car did somehow make...
all the water would dry up. So people would be... That's the thing that's silly about this. Yes, an EMP attack would not be great, but it's not going to... I think it's within 2 or 3 months, they reckon everything could be back up.
Make it through the EMP, like if you have an older car or something, how are you going to fill up your gas tank? So basically, you're stuck with what you have at that exact moment when it happens, with millions of people who are going to be hungry and thirsty and trying to find a way to feed themselves. So what do you think about this? Do you think this Chinese balloon was actually a spy balloon, or do you believe what the Chinese say that it was a weather balloon?
How could you fill up your car without electricity? Maybe hand pump it out?
See how far it can go before getting shot down. I want to know your opinion on this whole situation. Please put it in the comments below. Let me know how you feel. And I want to thank you all for watching this video. And until next time, God bless you all.
That was stupid.
You had to throw the G word in the end, didn't you?
Yeah.
Overegging it.
But yes, that's probably a reason why that EMP commission got defunded. That was not very helpful. All Americans would die within a year if they lost electricity for whatever the short period of time it would take before they could reestablish.
The young ones will get bored within a week.
Well, send them out to fix all the electrical stuff.
Yeah.
Easy done. That was That was a derp. But I had enough derp. What else have we got? We're coming up to... I did most expensive mistakes, didn't I? Yes. I know I did the at the start. Those are around. I'm going to play that one again. Oh, I got this one. I've got this one on. This is not that one. Let's put that one on. There we go. Some not so derpy stuff. Well, it is derp, but from a different point of view. You guys still seeing that?
Oh,
no,
yeah, this is definitely derp.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
I've seen this one. Yeah, it's derp.
You've seen it, but they're not seeing it out in... There we go.
Oh,
let's go bigger. Here we go.
That's our true planet map. And where we at, we on one landmass surrounded by water.
There's not half a load of shite on the telly, isn't there? You know what I mean? Absolute load of shite.
No. We surrounded by 2 ice walls.
I'm so sorry, but the rubbish we get in here. Now,
Because there's one around us, and then it's laying on that side of the ice wall, and our other brothers and sisters that's on the other side of the ice wall, they got an ice wall around them too.
oh, the rubbish we get in here. Look at that.
And then there's more of us on the other side of that one.
More rubbish, dear. More of that bloody rubbish.
You ain't got to fly nowhere to get to Africa, Europe. You can reach Spain on land. You can reach the Congo from right here in America with 3 motherfucking Ks.
Okay, but if I'm being honest with you, if I'm being very, very real, I need to be high on crack cocaine right now.
Yeah, quite.
You ain't got to cross no water. Them the lives that keep you from the cosmic you.
Don't do that again.
It's your planet. Look what it fucking does to the plants. Everything dies when they freeze us.
You know, we'll pull ourselves together and we'll get back on crack. I mean, on track. Unless, you have more crack.
No, Dennis, I don't have more crack.
Big ass grizzly bears. He 1,000 pounds. Good hair on him. He don't even want to be outside when it's cold. He go hibernate, man.
Quit feeling sorry for yourself. You know you're not an average bear.
Hey, boo-boo. You're right. I'm not. I failed at that, too.
That's not natural, man.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children? What kind of an example are we setting?
We get a charge off the sun. We get charged.
Oh, faggot. That is not the way to get healthy.
You know what I'm saying? We don't feel like that on a full moon. No, you don't. Nigga, you get cold.
Horror and degradation forming a useless, bleak straitjacket in a black, absurd cosmos.
What are you doing Saturday night?
And when it's summertime, that they call it summer, and it's a full moon, your ass start acting crazy under the moon.
Funny you should mention that.
This moon is anti-photon energy.
Is this a piece of your brain?
And they tell you that the moon reflects the sun's light. But they're lying to you.
Those bastards.
It's a holographic image. The part of the moon that we see.
Okay.
The moon emits anti-photon energy. APE. APE.
He's absolutely right.
Now what they call the dark side of the moon, that's the part you can't see.
That's suspicious.
That's the actual base where they have scientists sitting up there stealing magnetism or souls as they leave the realm.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
So they turn the moon on to certain levels for each ether.
Don't stop when you get to the basement. Keep straight on. Give my regards to the Earth's core.
Oh dear. Yeah, that was a bit derpy, that one. He is scary.
I'm hoping that was performance art and not serious.
I have a horrible feeling that you might actually believe that.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I suspect so.
This is what happens. Oh.
Yep.
I'm going to break tradition. I'm going to put Dan on now. I've got Dan. Only because I think Dan needs to pick up his game a little bit. This is Dan.
I think so. I think he does. He's obviously running out of stuff.
That's okay. That's just somehow the ad thing didn't quite kick in. Okay. You guys can still see that. Switch that back out to there for the peanuts.
If I just move this Word document out of the way, oh yes, I can see that.
Okay, can I get back in time? Can you get back? No, you can't get that time back. I have ruined your last 7 minutes for you, Fire.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, that's it. Okay, let's see what Dan's got to say for himself.
Astronomy and space. Most people are happy to accept the science and accept what the experts say. After all, they've spent their working lives studying it. However, some people like to just ignore that and come up with their own explanations. Seriously, you don't want to miss this one.
Sure about that.
Hello all and welcome along to another episode of Tinfoil Tuesday with me, Simon Dan. Thank you very much for joining me. Before we begin today, and appropriately with a video about astronomy and the stars, I want...
No, we don't. Oh. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
No, bloody well don't.
No. All right, I think it's nearly 2 minutes, I think it takes up. Here we go. It's Betty.
Phenomena which need correcting. Shall we see what he's got to say? Yeah, come on, let's do it. Here we go.
It's George, and I'm back again, and I'm here to explain how the 1833 meteor shower happened. It's not the way that everybody seems to think. Like all the experts told you it's just happened this way. Well, I'm going to explain to you because I've been researching this and I've been going back and looking up stuff.
So the 1833 meteor shower was an exceptionally rare event. This particular shower in 1833 was the Leonids meteor shower caused by the Earth passing through the debris left by the comet Tempel-Tuttle. Now, the comet Tempel-Tuttle has an orbital period of around 33 years. So every 33 years, as the comet gets closer to the sun, it leaves a fresh tail of debris. Now, it just so happened that in 1833, the comet had just passed, and there were some very dense meteoroid concentrations within the dust tail, to have over tens of thousands of meteors visible per hour, depending on the location of the observer, of course. Now, this happened again in the meteor storm of 1966, again with up to 10,000 meteors per hour visible. Now, we know exactly what causes these meteor showers and why we get them every 33 years or so.
Now, here we'll go to all the pictures. All these are different pictures that people who saw the 1833 meteorite shower, they drew or they painted.
Now, obviously without cameras back then, this was the best they could do, and a lot of them would have been from memory. Now, from witness accounts, it sounds like there were so many meteors that it looked like raining stars were falling.
Okay, now everybody's seeing, but every picture is basically the same. It shows the meteorites, or the meteors, it shows the meteors coming straight down toward Earth. But there's one picture that really caught my attention. It's this one up here in the corner. If you look closely at this, everybody said it came from one point in the sky up there. Now, I'm trying to figure out how they say that it was a collision. The 1833 comet hit its own tail from 1800 that it left behind.
Yes, this is true. As you can see from this graphic here, the 1833 tail went straight through the 1800 tail from the last orbit. Now, this caused that intense accumulation of meteoroids.
And I'm trying to figure this out, and it just doesn't seem to make sense. This picture right here, to me, resembles a firework.
Well, all meteor showers and storms do originate from a certain point in the sky. The Leonids, because that point is in the constellation of Leo. But this is all just a trick of perspective. Now, they're travelling parallel, but much like a train track, where it widens as you get closer to it, the same thing happens with the meteors.
When it goes up in the sky and it explodes, there's one center point, and every...
One thing I don't know if anyone knows, I don't know if Dan picked it up. He's picked out this one picture which sort of shows it as doing this and disregards all the other pictures. So, cherry pick much?
Everything branches out.
Interesting that George is taking just one drawing from over 150 years ago, where there were hundreds more drawings of that event from the same period.
Okay, with that being said, I'm going to go through and explain what I think happened. Okay, we're going to go down to the picture. This is what I think happened. We had the comet, which was the Tempel-Tuttle comet, come in. Okay? It has a path to where it would pass by the Earth. Okay. Bear with me for a second.
We are bearing with you, and I get it so far. Slightly out of scale, the Tempel-Tuttle comet is only 3.6 kilometres across, but that's okay.
This is what I think happened. Okay? I think there were two comets. I think there were two comets. Now, I will explain this to you. In 2022, the comet Leonard and Pan-STARRS both disintegrated, passing the Earth. Okay. In 2016, there was a twin comet flyby. 252P linear and P2016 BA14. They went by the Earth. It was like a rare event, a twin comet path.
Now, it's named twin, but they were actually separated by quite a bit. One passed Earth by about 3 million miles, and then the next one shortly after passed by about 2 million miles. That's about 9 or 10 times the distance to the moon. Not really a flyby.
Okay. Now, the exoplanet hunting satellite TESS caught sight of a comet outburst. And I'm going to go into that, what that is. And this is from a NASA release. I got this information from NASA. Okay, we're going to go back down to the picture.
She keeps shouting.
Okay, what I believe happened is Temple Telecomment here. It did its thing. Okay?
That's exactly what everybody was saying in the chat.
At some point after it had passed,
yeah, if you look at the comments, the Simon Dad's like there's tons
there
of
was
comments,
another
including
comet
me.
that had came by.
Yeah. Well, obviously, the louder you are,
And I'm not so sure what there might have been 3 comets out there in the sky. Because there was a Mexican astronomer who said there was a comet that had disintegrated before the Temple Tunnel had passed. But people don't want to believe what other people say.
No, they don't, you are right, but this seems a bit far-fetched. Now, you've indicated in your drawing there that the comets appear to collide just above our mesosphere, but the closest ever recorded approach of a comet is around 3.4 million kilometres. I'm afraid what you're suggesting, whilst remotely possible, has never happened that close to Earth. You also need to take into account that the comet Tempel-Tuttle has been on the exact same orbit as it had been back then in 1833. If it would have collided with something, it would be different.
If it's the case and there was 2 or 3 comets, you get the one pass, the Temple Tunnel, your meteor shower starts.
Yeah, I don't think colliding comets or
this comet comes along and it
or
fragments
even asteroids has actually been documented or
the
videoed
other
or anything
meteorite's
like
path.
that I'm aware of.
And if there was a third one that had already disintegrated, there's a huge debris pile there. Now, if this comet came along, which I suspected, and had a comet outburst,
I mean, you get a lot of crap coming off comets. I mean, you know.
Bad way to say this. A comet outburst is an intense release of gas, dust and ice. Not really explosive, but still a pretty bright sight.
It's like a firework. It would have lit up the whole sky. Everybody would have been able to see it. Which brings me to another point. They said in the 1833 meteor shower, 100,000 meteorites per hour. Some say 50,000, 200,000. And then at one point they said 240,000. If a comet outburst happened, which is a big explosion like a firework on top of the meteorite shower that was already in progress, you would have had all sorts of debris coming toward Earth.
I love George's enthusiasm for this, I really do, but unfortunately there's no evidence to suggest that this has happened. The current explanation works at the moment, and to back it up we had 1966 with the same reasons.
And this is what the point that I'm trying to get across to people. When the mesosphere becomes bombarded with so much debris at once, it malfunctions. It can drop the temperature with noctilucent clouds. It can drop the temperature maybe 3 times or maybe more colder than what it is.
I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Maybe another one of George's theories.
And it will have a hard time creating friction with a super cold temperature.
Well, air friction can be affected by air temperature, but not to the point where it's non-existent.
Now, you as a human being know how hard it is to stay warm. And the colder it gets, the harder it is to stay warm. Okay, that would explain the increase from 50 to 100,000 to 240,000 meteorites coming through. A comet outburst would have showered
different
the
people
Earth
trying
with
to
rocks,
estimate a whole
and
lot
it would have done it at a
meteors at once.
downward path, not across the sky like this meteorite. Okay, this comet right here, this path right here, that would have been normal. It would have been sucked into the Earth's gravitational pull at normal speeds.
Yes, unfortunately, George doesn't understand how comets or meteor showers work. Shame really. Still, nice to see his alternate theory. Well, there we go. A nice look at George there and his meteor shower explanations. He does have a good channel, which we probably will have a look at again in the future. So all that's left for me to do today is say thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please do consider subscribing. We are almost at 470,000 subscribers, only 30,000 to go. And of course, if you really liked it, hit that like button too. Just enough time to once again thank Star Trek Fleet.
Yep. No, I'm not watching it.
Go whatever.
Yeah, I do feel he's getting a little bit. That was like, it wasn't flat Earth, and it was just some guy who thinks this is what happened to.
Yeah.
He was like, I got to admit I hadn't watched it all through till then, but I don't think I missed anything. I probably should have spent.
I don't think you did, no.
But I think you agree. I have no idea why he was shouting all the time. Imagine the poor camera person was probably yelled at. Maybe he does it all the time.
Then you're like they got earplugs in.
You hope so.
Command for sponsoring today's video. Remember.
No, I don't want to talk about that. What else have I got?
Go away. We don't care about some poxy Star Trek game.
No, we don't. I got a creaky. Why have I got a creaky?
Boldly go, no man has gone before. Sorry.
No one has gone before.
When it comes to astronomy,
that's okay. Not creaky.
Go away. Go. Just look. Just
stop.
Well,
that's not creaky. That's not what I just posted.
I can't remember which film or which series that they had to change it because there were comments made that boldly going where no man has gone before, and yet even in the original Star Trek series they try to be so inclusive, particularly with women.
Oh, they had to change it, did they?
And they had and I can't. It was a while ago now, but they had to change it to boldly go where no one has gone before because saying no man was deemed sexist. But I think somebody did point out. Look, if you look at the original Star Trek series, it was hailed as being sort of groundbreaking for its inclusivity of important female characters and all the rest of it. And then they go, the boldly go where no man has gone before. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't wrong in saying it. I was just outdated.
The entire original Star Trek series was the boldly go where no man has gone before. Might even have been the first film. I'm not sure. I can't remember at which point they changed it.
Anyway, creaky.
Where don't you have creaky?
I've watched a bit creaky for a while actually.
I must admit I haven't watched him. I don't get time to watch everybody.
It's true, but don't take my word for it.
You guys can hear that? Hang on, let's put that out.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Boyo.
The Earth, it's round. I know, it's a mind-blowing concept, but it's true. But don't take my word for it. Just ask any flat earther. They'll tell you all about their top secret. They'll tell you all about their top secret underground government conspiracy to keep the truth from us. I mean, I guess it's better than a conspiracy about aliens controlling our thoughts through fluoride in the water, but still, the science is about as solid as a hoverboard on a waterbed, and the evidence is as convincing as a unicorn's alibi. But all jokes aside, in today's video, we'll be taking a look at a flat earther who is so dumb, he makes stupid people look smart. Go nuts on my nuts. Now, before we go ahead and completely embarrass this flat earther, today's video is sponsored by Blinkist. Are you looking for a way to fit educational knowledge into Blinkist's pure experience? Bro, your premium. And when I say that, 2023 is the year to become a communicator or get 20 free trials an hour at the Blink. Become who you want to be with Blinkist.
The Earth's rotating at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. When a plane takes off, is traveling with Earth's rotation. Shouldn't it take it longer to get to its destination than when it's traveling against rotation?
The Earth rotates once a day, and if you're living it up at the equator, you're moving at a cool 1,000 miles per hour to the east. So, you might think it would be easy for aeroplanes to fly west, but it's not that simple. The rotation of Earth kind of affects aeroplane travel times, but not in a straightforward way. Planes have to start moving relative to the ground and through the air at about 100 miles per hour or so. So when it's flying east, it's actually moving at 1,000 miles per hour plus 100 miles per hour to the east, whichever way east is. And when it's flying west, it's actually moving at 1,000 miles per hour minus 100 miles per hour. The wind direction in the upper atmosphere also plays a role in airplane travel times. It's a clump. It's a clump. It's not a clump. It's a complex thing. And who better than Daniel Pratt to explain it to us, right?
And of course, the staunch Globe cult members will launch into every mental gymnastics, relative motion lie they possibly can to keep themselves deluded and think there's an answer to it.
Oh, but there is an answer to it, and I just gave it to you. You're not paying attention or something. The reason for quicker flights when flying eastwards are jet streams. Put simply, they're fast-flowing narrow air currents in the atmosphere found at high altitudes. Why do I always point up when I'm talking about the sky? Anybody else confused about where it is? These currents are also formed due to atmospheric heating from the sun's radiation and the Earth's Coriolis force, defined as a rotating object has a force perpendicular to the rotation axis. Combined, these factors produce streams of fast-flowing air that are responsible for flight times looking significantly different east to west. So in a nutshell, what you seem to be claiming as a flat Earth proof actually proves that the Earth is a globe. Nice job.
When I've proven with my own treadmill, there isn't.
Oh, what have I missed? How does a treadmill prove the Earth is flat? Maybe I've picked the wrong video, but there's a reason I picked this video, which I'll get to in just stay. Please stay. I'll get to it soon.
It's just physics facts. Their relative motion nonsense is just that, nonsense.
Well, I've got no idea what he's bumping his gums about. For an aeroplane to get anywhere at all, it has to be moving relative to the ground.
So, if you're already seeing and questioning that the travel times cannot be what they are with Earth's rotation, well, if the globe is bigger, it's like they're able to go to, oh, it must be a bigger globe, because they just can't get past that hurdle that, oh my God, it's flat and stationary. It doesn't rotate.
Bigger globe? What the hell are you talking about? Sorry about this, folks. I honestly thought this video was a cut and dry, done deal type of situation, but trust Dan Pratt to be the one that totally confuses me. Anyway, the reason I am particularly interested in this video is because I'm flying to America next week, and unless the airline is lying to me, the westbound flight from Heathrow to Newark is 8 hours and 15 minutes, and the flight home from Newark to Heathrow is only 7 hours. So I'll be able to confirm this little misunderstanding that Mr. Pratt has for myself.
And why is that the case? Because if the 1,000-mile-per-hour rotation isn't just some random number they picked out of nowhere.
Correct. We know that we rotate at 15 degrees per hour because we're able to measure that rotation. And thanks for referring to it as a rotation, because it bugs the ass of me when flat earthers call it a spin. It isn't a spin. Now, I'm not sure if you're changing sides, Daniel, but so far, all you've given us is a couple of different reasons why there is absolutely no way the Earth could possibly be flat. So, thanks. Yes?
It has to be 1,000 miles an hour. Because
that's what physics shows us to be the case. At the equator, Earth's circumference is roughly 40,075 kilometers. So dividing this by the length of the day means that at the equator, Earth rotates at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, or 1,037.69 miles per hour for normal people like me. There's more than one way to skin a cat though, or in this case, measure the rotation of Earth. You can also use radar to measure the distance to a stationary object like a mountain or a building, and then measure it again after some time has passed, and voila! You've got the speed of rotation. Or you can go all stargazer and use astronomical observations to determine the speed of Earth's rotation. Or, if you're feeling really fancy, you could use an atomic clock for precise measurements of the length of a day. And what do all these things have in common? No, it's not that Dan won't have a clue what I'm talking about. It's that they all only work because Earth is a globe.
According to their fairy tale globe model, the Earth rotates once per day.
It does, Daniel. You're absolutely bang on. But if you don't believe me, maybe confirmation from one of your own will convince you.
A 15-degree-per-hour drift.
Thanks, Bob. I couldn't have done it without you. You must have been gutted spending 20 grand on a laser gyroscope and then finding out that Earth is moving exactly as we expect it to.
That means the sun goes around, or we rotate and causing the Earth to go around, the sun to go around the Earth once per day.
Clear as mud, Dan. And thanks again for highlighting just how completely ridiculous you really are. And all other flat earthers, obviously. I'm an inclusive channel. I don't single out any flat earther. That would be grossly unfair of me, as you are all as equally stupid as each other. And in terms of distance in space, we're actually fairly close to the sun, at a distance of 150 million kilometers, or 93 million miles. Earth's orbit around the sun is 940 million kilometers, and you'll never guess how long it takes. Go on, try and guess. 364.24 days, or what we call 1 year. Weird, right? How every single observation or measurement we take lines up perfectly with what you would expect on a globe-shaped Earth. It's almost as if Earth is actually a sphere, just like every other planet and star we can see in the observable universe.
So in order for that to happen, let's say the globe was twice as big. Well, then it would have to be rotating at 2,000 miles per hour.
No, it wouldn't. The rotation rate of a planet is determined by its moment of inertia, which is affected by the distribution of mass within a planet. A larger Earth would have a greater moment of inertia, which would require a greater rotational energy to overcome, meaning it would rotate more slowly. The moment of inertia is a measure of an object's resistance to rotational motion about a particular axis, and it's calculated by multiplying the mass of an object by the square of its distance from the axis of rotation. So, no, Daniel, Earth being double its size would not make it rotate twice as fast. You moron.
For that to be the case, for the sun to make one trip around the Earth in one day.
The sun doesn't orbit Earth, you clown! This is like arguing with Mrs. Blind Eye. I know I'm not going to get through, but I keep going anyway.
So, if the travel times already don't make sense at 1,000 miles per hour, and they absolutely don't.
Yes, they do.
Don't.
They do.
Don't.
They do. Okay then, smart ass. Why then? Because you're doing so well with everything else you've said so far. Why do you think the sun is orbiting the Earth and not the other way around?
Because...
What are you for? We are orbiting the sun.
Again, no matter the mental gymnastic, deluded lies the globe could come up with, it's physically impossible for the travel times to make sense going with Earth's rotation and against it. Well, then it's going to make twice as much nonsense if it's rotating twice as fast.
Well, we'll soon see about that. I'll report back once I make my trip. So, what else have you got for us, Mr. Pratt?
It's just flat.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Earth is flat because it is. Brilliant, Dan.
It is that pancake, relatively speaking, with topography. And it doesn't rotate. And this is why many flat earthers have come to realize the only way to prove it is to prove that water doesn't bend.
That's not strictly true, is it? If you were to prove that the Earth was flat, you could do it in any number of ways. Not that I want to help you, obviously, but you could simply offer a more plausible model of Earth and use existing physics to demonstrate it. Now, we all know that Bob and Jism tried to do just that and failed miserably, but forgetting what they did, you could, for example, crowdfund a ticket for one of the more prominent flat earthers like Mark Sargent, so he can go up to the edge of space and take his own photos and show us stupid globies once and for all that the Earth is flat. Or you could crowdfund a plane ticket on one of the routes that you claim to be impossible on a globe Earth and prove us wrong that way. Easy peasy.
Water at rest cannot physically, it is physically impossible for water to display curvature upon its surface.
So what are these then? Are they all fake pictures? Water's curving in all of them? Or will you do what every other flat earth moron does and say, yes, but those aren't large bodies of water? But for the purposes of this video, you state that it is impossible for water to curve. Well, sorry, Dan, it isn't.
So when you get into that little rabbit hole and start putting water in a cup, a bowl, a tub, a kid's pool, a swimming pool, up to a lake, you'll start to realize it always lays perfectly flat and level.
No,
do
wrong.
they? Well,
Wrong.
Mr. Pratt, I am sure, and this is based on how accurate you've been with everything else you've said in this video, that you will realize flat and level aren't the same thing. But you already know that, obviously.
This has been observed thousands of times with videos posted.
No, it isn't.
The only thing it hasn't been is mechanically measured.
It hasn't though, has it? I mean, it hasn't been observed that water doesn't curve. And as far as measurements that demonstrate water curving, boom, is these two pictures. One taken just above the water and one at roughly eye level above the water. Flat Earth destroyed. End of debate. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you're new and you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's free. See you all next time. Love you, bye.
All right, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit more energy than Dan does at the moment. But,
Pratt by name, Pratt by nature.
by nature. Yes, exactly. Well, I don't have anything else on my list. Who's out there? Who's left? Have I scared everyone off? Trying to see. Where's my list gone?
Put yourself on camera, you might scare everybody off, Timbo.
I probably
I'm
would.
joking, I'm sorry.
Look, here we go. There we go. Yes, see, I'm still there. I can even wave. I can breakdance. I can fly. They're here. We've still got a few left. Down to 5, but that's not surprising. Well, I think I'll call the stream an end. Thanks for everyone who's out there for coming to the stream. We'll do it again next Saturday. I spat my coffee over the place. Oh dear. Yes. Oh, thanks, Carl. Thanks, everyone. Who have we got out there? Thanks, Vim Fundle. Thanks, Junie. Thanks, Nerd Alert. Thanks, Zebulon. Obviously, Matt was out there. I'm sure we had a few others. Thanks, Mr. 42.
I was up there,
Thanks,
now I'm
Carl.
here.
Thanks, Larry. I think Larry's headed off. We've got 9 left. Thanks, Spooky. And I'm sure we had John Stock. Yes, that was the one I was looking for. And yeah, thanks all you guys. I'll shut the Zoom down. You'll have a few minutes. Anyone got any last words to the peanuts?
No, just thank you very much for all sort of showing up and taking part in the general frivolities.
It's good to see Terry
Nice
here.
to see you all out there.
Still here, Terry?
Yes.
Good.
He might be. He's muted at the moment.
That's okay. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll catch up next. What is it? Our Saturday. I'll see you then around the 9:30ish. Okay, see you guys.
I'm still here. Bye, everyone.
Oh yeah, there he goes.
There he is. See. Good. Glad to hear.